So, I feel like most of you already know me. Hi, it's Anya. It's been a while, right? um, this is my bestie who I'm balls deep in Delululand with, Nelly.
Hi, my name is Naliath VR. How are you today?
Yeah, so we are balls deep in Delululand for fucking love and deep space.
Welcome to the Crow and the Snowy Fox podcast.
Yes. Thank you for the bits, Bobby. Thank you for the bits, Bobby. You've been sparring so much already. I appreciate it. But yeah, we decided there's no better time with the fucking Silas myth coming out tomorrow. Um, you know, casually. So yeah. Well, I for one didn't actually think that Silas's myth. I didn't think he'd be a dragon, personally.
I didn't think he would be a dragon either.
Nah. Thank you for the pity. Let me actually try and like get a picture. Um Fuck, I only have okay, hang on. Can I duplicate this? Copy. Okay, I'm just gonna this picture is far too zoomed in. Do I have anything else? L&D pics. I only have that one fan up from yesterday's Hear Me Out cake.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
About that.
About that.
About that. Uh,
I'm just gonna get a
for many of you who don't know, I present Zane. I main Zane
yep.
in Love in Deep Space.
I'm just trying to get a picture of like Silas's myth. Okay, this one will do. No, that's not what I want. I just want to save the picture. Save picture as. Sweet. This is probably gonna end up being really fucking big of an image, but I don't care. Ugh. L&D pics. I feel like we just need something just so people know what we're on about. Slay. Okay. We'll just have this above chat.
Yeah.
So this is the guy we're talking about. Currently waiting for Lego City undercover download valid. But yeah, so I for one didn't think he'd be a dragon.
I didn't think he was a dragon either.
But now in hindsight, I realize the signs were all there.
Yeah, it was there. I mean, like there was like this one event where like I don't know if you remember this. It's like they're inside like a not inside of a castle or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like the little blob event, and like
Yeah,
he
where
had a
Silas was
tame
like the Cheshire
dragon.
Cat. Yeah. He was like a Cheshire Cat. Thank you for the biddies. He was a Cheshire Cat, and yeah, he tamed a dragon. I remember that happening. I was too dumb on how the game works to know how to play the event stories, and I thought they'd be permanent, and I didn't play them, and I was dumb.
Now we know that when an
The
event
more you
happens,
know.
it happens. You know, like
Yeah.
the more you know.
The more you know. I'm just gonna move this there. But yeah, what is it? So like I found quite a bit of evidence for Silas being a dragon. And I have it
Let's
all.
talk about it.
Let's talk about it. So, well, firstly, I was reading through his anecdotes, which is like the first thing you'd come across, right?
Of course.
And already like in his fifth anecdote, like the chapter 5 of the anecdote, the judgment of fate, on the first page they literally like mention that he has animalistic qualities, which
Yeah.
I don't know about you, But I'm
You
just
know,
sitting here like I'm just sitting here like I really should have seen this coming. I saw rumors he was a dragon even way back when he was released, and I'm still surprised. Yeah, but like then when I looked into it, like when I looked into the game with hindsight, I
honestly,
realized just how
yeah.
obvious it was.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I have a direct quote here, and it was like in the Judgment of Fates, they were talking about Silas's eyes specifically, and they said those animalistic eyes silently locking onto him, and it's like, yeah, and then trapped there, their wild instincts remain.
Yes.
So
Another
that's
thing
already,
that I
yeah.
wanted to top is that I always thought that Silas was gonna be like that one character from League of Legends, Noxus. You
Yes.
know how he had, yes. He has like that same like flair or that look. I thought
Mm-hmm.
he was gonna be like some type of like imperial like monster of some sort, but like I never thought deep down that he would be a dragon in my opinion. But now when you
I,
connect the dots, right,
yeah.
you definitely see it. Like I really thought he was gonna be like Noxus from League of Legends, just because they both have the same vibe. They both surround themselves around crows. They have like the white hair and the red eyes. I don't know. It's just
I'm not gonna lie,
my
I
opinion.
was fully set on the Silas's Hades theory.
Yes,
But then
I could, yes.
now thinking about it, it would be too similar to the God of Tides because there's already a god theme there, you know what I mean? Like we already have
Yes.
one of the love interests who's a god, but like at the same time there
Of
was so
course.
much imagery there. And then my second
Yeah.
guess would have been demon, which I guess is close enough. Um
I mean, like technically he is a demon. I mean, like dragons are through the myth.
yeah.
This is what they are. This is what they represent.
Dragons are actually associated with Satan in European folklore because of the Book of Revelation. Hi,
Of
Lumi.
course.
Yes, I suck my husband. Yes, he's here. Don't worry about it.
Hi, hi, endless. I see you.
Lol. But yeah, that was one piece of evidence that I found. And then looking at the anecdotes again, they were mentioning the brooch. Now, I don't know if you guys saw this, but like, I came across a theory that the brooch is made out of like Silas's like that protocol fragment on his chest. I don't know if it's a
Yeah.
protocol or an ether core, but like I saw a theory that it was made out of that on his chest and he gifted it to MC so that he's like giving his heart to her.
Doesn't he have like some type of ether core on his left eye?
Yes, he does. But he also has some sort of protocol artifact thing on his chest, and I'm really curious as to what that is.
Who knows? My theory is who knows if he was able to take it out away from his chest and he crafted that brooch to give it to MC.
And an important thing
And
about the brooch is that this is in the same anecdote. This is still in chapter 5. There's like a segment where they present the investigators present the hologram of the brooch, like stained in blood. And
yeah.
like they talk about the brooch. And they mention that this is a material that's centuries old. It's been used in countless artifacts over time. So we know that this isn't a material that's easy to come by. It literally could be the thing of legends.
So we can all agree that each of the characters present some type of mythology. What type of myth do you think Silas is presenting besides Hades? Because like we kind of have to like dig deeper because like
Yeah.
he's a dragon, but like where is it stemming
Hear me
from? What
out.
story is he presenting?
Beauty and the Beast.
Yes, I could see that.
I can see that because literally in the trailer, we literally we see that scene first and foremost with like the fucking tail and the hand on the neck and the choking and the hickey, like okay, like you know what I'm on about. But he literally had a line where it was like, you trying to like soften me with your human love, something like that. I can't remember the exact quote. And then when you look at Abyss Blossom part of the trailer, he's like fully warmed up with her in like a field of flowers. So I really feel like that's like slightly Beauty and the Beast coded. This sounds like me and Abyss discussing Elden Ring lore. Yes.
You know what? Another thing is that when you're in a yard full of flowers and stuff, it could represent in general four things: death, love, solitude, or something that we are not going to expect in the story
No,
that
no.
eventually that is going to be presented in the future, which it is being foreshadowed that MC stabs Silas. Who
Bruh,
knows?
I saw a TikTok, right? And someone pointed out that, like, oh yeah, you thought he was stabbed with a sword, he was stabbed with a claymore, and you can see how close the hilt is to his chest. And I'm like, I did not want to think about that today. I did not need that
Honestly,
angst.
and the thing is, it's being foreshadowed in the story. So, I personally think we have four options, but what if we get the last option in the myth? Each of the myths that are presented for each of the guys is something sad. Right now, we are getting the story branches. I believe tomorrow we get Xavier's story branch
Yes,
tomorrow,
yes, we
correct?
do. It's with the Silas myth, so it's completely overshadowed, in my opinion. I
So
kind of
I
feel
know
bad
some
for
of
the
you
Xavier
Xavier
girlies.
girlies are traumatized for tomorrow. How do you feel, y'all?
Yeah, after reading them anecdotes. But then I was also like, after digging more into the whole like dragon thing, I personally found, and this has been bugging me for a while, it's when you get the puffy penguin plush from the claw machine. And they talk about how
Oh
like
my god,
penguins
yeah.
gift like the pretty stones to the one they like. And we know that Silas canonically has a gem, like a hoard of gems in his armory, in like his
Yeah,
main armory.
yeah.
And MC literally says, speaking of which, you seem to gift me pretty gems. And he literally says, my taste is more refined than a penguin's. And
Yes,
then in the
I
kitty
remember
event, it's
that.
confirmed that he has a hoard of gems. Because in
I
the
mean, but if you
kitty
come to
event,
think
he says
about it,
it.
he's compared to crows. He's compared to a crow or to a sparrow, and you know how by their instinct, the animal instinct is that they like to collect anything that is shiny to
I thought that
either
was
give it to their
magpies.
mate. Crows also do the same thing.
Oh, shit. Didn't know that
They
one.
also collect pebbles. For example, if they are trying to drink water and they can't really reach, they have to use like pebbles or small little
Mm-hmm.
items to so the water can overflow so they can drink water from that certain area. So like
Yeah, yeah.
when I think about Silas, it's more like the
Thank
reason
you for
that
the
he
biddy.
gets like all of these shiny items is because crows naturally will give anything shiny to their favorite person or thing or like an animal or for their nest. It's something that they are, they're just genuinely just grateful creatures. So they have to do something for that set someone, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. Like,
No, I see that. I see that. Um, but it's like, yeah, in the kitty event, it's confirmed that he canonically has a hoard of gems. And I am so mad at myself that I didn't notice that and that I didn't take more of like, because it's like, yeah, I guess gems are like pretty stones for humans, technically.
do you want to rate the cat guys or the cat event?
Oh my god, don't get me started. After the Silent Smith, we are jumping straight into that one. I have so many thoughts.
I have too many actually.
But it's also, yeah, we had that whole little girl quote that was on all over TikTok since his trailer got released about, like, yeah, he's a monster with huge wings that never dies and he has horns.
That is so true.
Thank you for the biddy. Um, what is it? I had a bunch of shit on dragons. I literally named the fucking thing evidence. Right. So I don't know about you, but like after looking into dragons, personally I think
Yeah.
Silas was a bit of a hodgepodge of mythologies. Um,
Yeah.
then again, in terms of dragons, most cultures have a very similar view on them by the looks of it. Because
I
it's
can
like they all
see
stem
that.
from
Yeah.
snakes and whatever. And they just have like slightly different depictions. Now, to me personally, Silas looks like a European depiction specifically, especially with all of his like good versus evils that can be interpreted as like heaven and hell quotes. And like in European mythology, that's where he's
He definitely
associated
gives
with
medieval
Satan.
though.
He does give medieval. I agree. I'm not gonna lie, I first saw the trailer and for some reason my mind just went Game of Thrones.
My mind kind of went something like, y'all might laugh for the comparison, but kind of like Narnia.
I see
or
that.
like definitely like Albion Online or
Yeah.
Narnia
Mm-hmm.
or like you know like those like really cool like mythical creature games out there, something similar to that definitely. But it definitely it gave out a little bit more to Albion Online, personally, in my opinion. But like he's definitely one of the comments down below here in the stream says, I don't think he's giving an East Asian dragon, definitely European. He's definitely
Yeah,
European.
definitely
He
European,
definitely has the
especially
nose. He
especially that
has the
like
nose, like the Britness nose
the
too.
defining characteristic of like East Asian dragons is that they specifically don't have wings. Whereas
They
in the
don't.
European one, they have wings. They have like long, kind of like reptilian tails and claws and horns. Whereas in East Asian mythology, the like or folklore, same diff. They tend to be a lot more serpent-like.
Yes. What other folklore we can compare it to that has that is a dragon with wings?
Um, in some interpretations, the Greek Hydra, despite having like a few heads, does have wings in some depictions. I didn't look too much into that, but I was mainly looking into like dragon like characteristics and stuff, which like everyone who knows about like anything about Silas, we all know that he's got an extremely sensitive sense of smell. And that is such a like reptile quality that I'm surprised
Yeah,
I personally didn't pick up on it a lot sooner.
definitely.
Um but yeah, it's also, oh yeah, and to support your point about the medieval dragon, specifically medieval dragons were depicted with wings and a barbed tail.
That is
Silas's tail
true.
is very scorpion like. It's very angular, very but I would say barbed, yeah.
Of course.
Uh you know what? I even went down to the fucking nitty-gritty of the game. And I was looking at like outfit descriptions. Now
I
this
also
might be me going a
yeah,
bit
that's
balls deep
true.
into Lulu. Um
I think well, it takes place at the place that in the myth, it takes place somewhere called Taurus City. Um Interesting. Let me research something before I speak on the behalf of this.
well,
So I believe Taurus City has to do something with uh let me see something.
I'm currently just like scrolling through the
There's
outfits
several
again.
myths about the city of Taurus, including the origin of its name, the founder of the city, and the connections to the city, etc., etc. Let me see something. So Taurus City actually takes place somewhere in eastern Turkey. So yes, somewhere in Europe,
Hmm. That's gone now.
from the
Yippee!
Syrian border. It
Mm-hmm.
is a gumbo of history, religion, and food. 12 miles inland from the Mediterranean and around 560 miles southeast of Istanbul. Tara was originally built and close to the city's river. Interesting.
Very interesting.
So yeah, he's definitely this is definitely a European folklore or something compared to it.
Hmm.
Um,
I think he is going to be very much a hodgepodge of European folklore on dragons because I feel like it meshes so much with each other that it's very hard to discern specifically which is which. That's just my
yeah,
opinion. And it's also like, I don't know, they'd probably use how dragons are portrayed in media a lot.
that
Um,
is true. Yeah.
so I see them doing that.
I also want to manifest all the girlies all around the world that are gonna be playing Love in Deep Space tomorrow or today. I manifest that all of you guys get the Silas myth card. That everyone
Me
is
too.
lucky.
Me too.
That you get the 10 pulls. That you've been blessed. That you don't have to spend 250 pulls plus. That you get your man in
That's
your
gonna be
house.
me. That's gonna be me. I'm
That you
gonna
don't have to cry in your sleep that you didn't get the myth card. I am manifesting you today.
slay.
Because, you know, it's difficult out here.
It really is. Like, it just really is. Oh fuck. Okay, I'm going on Twitter to get pictures of the cat event.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait to talk about this.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is going to be a funny topic. Who do you want to talk about first, though?
Bad luck is gonna get me into global VIP. Bro, mood. I'm still waiting for my mail because I'm like 99% sure I've already spent over 2k in this game, if not more. Like, since Misty Invasion.
I'm gonna be honest, 'cause I have good luck. Around $350 because I try not to like put so much money in it because then I'll develop a gambling addiction. So
I
like,
already
every
have a
time I get the
gambling
card,
addiction,
more
so
than
like
good luck.
I'm fucked already.
You know what? I can't be talking. I already have it. The thing is, I just don't want to admit it.
No, but do you know what the thing is? So like since Misty Invasion, which is when I started playing like midway through Misty Invasion. I've third ranked every Silas limited card since. Yeah. I have proof of this claim. Not on me right now, but I have proof of that claim. Like, all you have to do is just like go on my other fucking TikTok, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. It's not a secret. Can I not find the caretaker banner picture? Hello?
Ooh, who do you want to talk about first? Xavier, Silas, Zane, or Raphael?
We shall see. I'm just trying to get the picture up quick.
All right.
I need to crop this picture. Where the fuck did it save? Okay. Ignore the 20 pulls giveaway because I can't find a banner without it, but it is from the official one, so we're just gonna roll with it. Okay. Browse. The Yes Cat Caretaker event.
Jesus Christ.
The event that just ended. I wanted the Chibi Kitties to be permanent.
It has to be permanent. They took it away from us.
They took it away from us.
Infold, if you're watching, I don't agree with this. This mini game gave me sanity. I would wake up, play the little mini game, go to bed, play the little mini game.
I would just enjoy watching Silas go absolutely feral in anything that you'd put him in. Like, you'd put him in the rest section and motherfucker was doing backflips on the beds.
He hates cleaning. It was funny.
It was great.
It was great.
Okay.
Bring it back, Infold.
Yes. Which one of the cat boys, or the cat costumes thingies we're gonna talk about first? I'm asking because I need to get a picture.
Let's start this off very funny. Let's start with Xavier.
Okay, let me get the picture real quick. Okay.
God.
So the Xavier floof card.
Oh my goodness.
That was. I love you. Xavier Gullies. I love you, but I don't know how you could stomach that card.
Okay. I have a lot of opinions.
You for the follow.
I have a lot of opinions. But let me tell you something.
Let me tell you
something. Get neutered. I am sorry. I am sorry.
No, because why was every card since Misty Invasion ending with just like, fucking now? I haven't seen all the cat ones yet, but I saw this one. Yeah. So this one was
the most funniest card. This was the funniest card I've ever read / seen. And
I feel like lately every Xavier card just got really freaky in the end. Like, who remembers Misty Invasion, Xavier? That one was literally just.
How does Jeremiah? Jeremiah's like, hey, I have customers up front. Here's the greenhouse. Take care of Xavier for a moment. And Xavier was like, you know what? Firmly grasp it.
Man really went fucker, flipper, bender, backwards, baby, put your back into.
He really said, "Are you serious right now?"
He really said, I'm a bitch in heat in that one, but like, I'm happy for the Xavier girlies that got fed with this card. Like,
Yeah, exactly, they got fed.
I'm not gonna
However, some of us
lie,
were a little bit.
with his
I won't
story
lie, I was a
branch
little
coming
traumatized.
out, yeah, with your guys' story branch coming out for Xavier, you guys needed that.
I'm traumatized because you guys had this freaky moment, and then tomorrow we don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. So I'm like, I'm conflicted. You gave me this, and now I expect this tomorrow. After reading the antidote, I'm like, I'm not okay after that, because like, okay, he was cute and all, but then boom, he's absolutely, who knows, he could
Feral.
be gone tomorrow. I don't think he will be
Feral.
gone, but I'm absolutely, that was just atrocious. And number two, this is gonna this is gonna be really out of pocket. I'm so sorry. That
Mhm.
part where he says fishies.
Oh god, no.
Let me see if I can read it. I need to read it out loud.
No.
Hold on. I have it somewhere. It's the humans or something like that. Hold up.
Yeah, it was like, you humans, fishy.
And then he starts, and I don't know if you guys heard it. He starts to purr a little bit, and I was like, "Whoa,
God no.
yo, you gotta."
Oh
Whoa,
yeah, the
goddamn,
baby
you gotta
talk. Yeah,
relax.
man literally turned
The
into
baby
like
talk.
an uwu Discord kitten. Like man turned into a cat and was like, "Yeah, I'm a Discord kitten now."
Okay. He says,
I
and I
blocked it out
quote.
mentally.
He says, and I quote, it's something like this. This human has twice fish at home. We just to sweep the water of all fishies tomorrow. When he said that, I put my phone down and I said, "Where's 911?"
Sir, this is a Wendy's. Like I saw this and I was like, okay. Moving swiftly on.
And then, you know how MC's like, "Hey, I have to go on a business trip. I get it. You're very cute. You're very clingy. I really do appreciate that. But I got business to do."
I
And
mean,
this man said, "No, let me
no.
go hide your stuff and like you not find it." He has the audacity to hide all of her personal belongings inside of the sofa, including her phone. And she was like, "Let me call my phone just to see where it is." She uses her watch, her hunter's watch, and she rings up her phone or whatever, and she finds all of her personal items inside of the sofa. And she was like, "Yeah, stay like 5 steps away from the staircase." And he was like, my steps are
No.
pretty big, or you might as well put it far away from me." And she does, but
She
he
really
manages to
does.
be really fast and puts it away. And she was like, "Oh, so now the suitcase has legs." That part was funny.
I love how Xavier can just go from like 0 to 100 so quickly and like you're just questioning your sanity. Is that just me? Xavier would knock your cup off the table while making eye contact. He is a ragdoll. Like, he's a ragdoll
He's
cat.
a ragdoll.
So he's gonna be like a
clingy.
fucking clingy, fucking needs pampering. It's literally just a child.
Exactly.
I feel like with that, which one are we gonna talk about
Very
next?
Prince Charming. Oh, Raphael.
Raphael. Don't even get me started on what this guy was up to. Oh my
like,
god.
"I wake up as a cat. No fair."
The man has a fucking
20
fear
seconds
of
later.
cats. Fucking fish boy
Meow,
became
meow,
a cat.
meow.
You know what? That fucking meow 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 bit gave the same vibe as the gloop gloop gloop. I don't understand human language. Gloop gloop gloop.
Yeah, so he starts arguing with the MC's best friend's cat. I forgot her name. I think
Me
is
too.
it. And that part where the cat is like nudging up on MC, and like, the cat is like meowing on to MC or whatever, and he gets like somewhat jealous and trying to get MC's attention, but since MC wasn't paying attention to Raphael, all you hear is the meow 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 meow.
Don't even get me started. Don't even get me started on the whole like cat resting on boob privilege he demanded.
All right, I'm gonna reenact what he just did within the 20 seconds. He really said, "Delicioso."
Nah, he really did say that. Man,
He was like, you heard, you can definitely hear his little sniffles. He was like, and then he had to throw his ass back, and all you see his tail moving and everything. I was like, damn.
damn
I'm not
it.
complaining though.
What was the budget for these cards? Like, goddamn.
I'm not complaining.
I'm not complaining.
Raphael was really funny, and he's just really out of pocket. It's just for like the 30 seconds.
I feel like Raphael's card is literally just so funny purely because he has a fear of cats, right? And he's a fish.
My favorite quote for this event was this. Oh, I'm not a stray. I'm a house cat. And then exposes his neck to NC and is like, yeah, you can put it on, but like, were you planning this all along? And then
Yes.
the moment that they put the little collar, he was acting like all sassy and stuff, and then gets all clingy again. That was adorable.
I mean, he's a Siamese, I'm pretty sure, right?
No, he's a Devon Rex. That's the
Oh,
breed.
really?
Yeah.
Everyone kept saying he's a Siamese.
No, it wasn't his story. It was a Devon Rex.
Huh.
His outfit, though, definitely gave me, like, if he was gonna go to a theater or something, despite the fact they were all dressed as butlers and stuff. Like, his outfit was actually, like, I like the burgundy that they gave him. Like, Xavier's outfit definitely gave Prince Charming, because, you know, ragdolls present, like, very princess or prince treatment, and canonically, he's a prince. And then we have Raphael's outfit, who was giving like this burgundy brioche look or whatever. Like it was like, you know, something about his outfit just really stand out to me. I really like the color scheme that they used for him, because typically his color scheme is like, you know, purple, light colors, white most of the time. So the fact that they gave him darker colors for this, you know,
I feel like I like the color scheme of the outfit. But I feel like his outfit as a whole, to me, doesn't stand out because he's already got like 2 or 3 outfits that are suits.
Yeah.
Of like very, very like flamboyant, flowy suits. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like
his like, yeah, you're right.
Like this outfit just, the colors stood out to me, yeah, but the outfit as a whole, not really. In my opinion.
Like, it looks flattering to an extent, but in another way, it just doesn't. But at the same time, I personally like this outfit. I like the cat ears.
Oh yeah, it's a nice outfit for sure.
They chose for him, because like the cat breed that they chose is a cat with like really curly hair. Like, it's basically if a poodle was a cat, it would be, you know, it would be technically the Devon Rex because of like the hair texture and everything. About this story though, it was very funny because like despite the fact that he was like very clingy all the time. Oh, my other favorite part of this story was when he was cleaning the cabinets, and MC gave him the ladder or whatever, and he goes up, and MC's like, "What are you doing up there?" And he was like, "Well, I'm cleaning the cabinets." And he was like, "Yeah, I'm just cleaning here or whatever." And then MC was like, "Yeah, get down." And he was like, "Nope."
No.
I said, "Get down." No.
No. I feel like Xavier and Raphael are like probably the most bratty out of the 4.
Yes,
because it's
they
like
can also be bratty, but the thing is, he takes it back because he knows that NC gets like
yeah. Silas is just like Silas just likes being a bitch in the most endearing way possible. He just likes teasing. So it's like it's not really a brat, but
he's naturally bickering, but he's a brat. And he likes pet play, but like, you know, like,
oh, we've already seen that one. Fucking No Defense Zone. Like, I know No Defense Zone was technically a dream sequence, but
he can't defend himself now.
I mean, nah, he can't. After No Defense Zone, yes, maybe it was a dream sequence kind of deal, but like now this is just confirmed. Like,
it's definitely confirmed. Like, yeah. And then, which one do you want to talk about next? Zane or Silas? This one's up to you.
I have a lot of things to say about Silas purely because I played it like literally earlier today.
Okay, so we can do Zane and I can
Yeah.
give
Okay,
everyone.
hang on.
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh, that's Silas.
Yeah, I changed it, don't worry. Stream delay.
Okay. Oh my god.
I feel like
This
Zayn
story.
gave the most Butler vibes with his outfit and with his entire just demeanor.
This was just it was chef's kiss. It was absolutely astonishing. I might sound a little bit down bad, but like, oh
You are
my
down bad. You're a
god.
Zayn girly.
Well, that is true. But like, oh my god, this was really well written. This was just
This one was
whoever
good.
wrote this story,
Whoever
right? Hit
wrote
me up.
this one
You're gonna get a
used to
hug.
watch Black Butler. I said what I
Definitely watch
said.
Black Belt. Definitely. The way how he was just so passionate, and the way like at first he was like having a little fuss that he didn't
Yes.
understand why he had to have like these little kitty ears and the tail, but then he slowly like warms up to it, and he's really nitty picky. He doesn't want to get his ears touched, and then and the little kid in the beginning was like, "Let me touch your ears, Dr. Zane." And he was like, "Tanaya, no, like they're very like, I don't want no one touching my ears or whatever." As many of you guys know, or girlies actually know, is that he doesn't like to be touched like on his face or whatever. Like he'll like back away
But
in
then there's
the
like that one point where MC fully like just cups his face as Master of Fates.
yeah.
It's so
And so
funny.
like and so like while he gets closer and closer to MC gently kind of sort of trips, and like her shoe or her heel falls off, and she like sits down and she crosses her legs, like exposing like her foot, was like, "Hey, can you put this shoe on me, please?" And he was like, "Okay, my
Yes.
lady." I was like, "Oh my god, he did not just say that."
No, but it's like,
Like I was like,
I feel like Zayn's
"Sugar."
card, right, was the closest thing we got to like those stereotypical like butler lady romances. You know what I mean?
Definitely,
Like it
definitely.
really is
10
just
out of
the
10.
uptight butler who is madly in love with his lady and they just have like a secret affair kind of thing. That I definitely see that.
It definitely gave that too. And then like the way how he puts the shoe on her, caressing her ankle, her leg, I was like, God damn.
I'm not gonna
Like I was like,
lie.
yo.
This is gonna sound so bad. This gave me fucking flashbacks to Black Butler season 2, which no one ever likes to think about usually.
Oh my god.
Where
Is it
fucking
that
Claude
where
kisses
feels
his
the
foot.
best? Oh
You know?
yeah.
Yeah, like he kisses the foot
Yeah.
and puts the shoe on, and I'm like, I'm so glad Zayn didn't do that, because then we canonically know that he has a thing for feet.
No, I don't think he does.
I don't think he does, but you know what they say? It's like 1 in 3, so at least one of them
Yeah.
does.
But like he was very passionate, and then like when MC starts like snuggling his face or whatever, oh my god, that was so adorable. But like the way how he was making eye contact, the way how his ears were like flickering, the way how he bites MC's finger then licks it to apologize, I was like, hey yo.
That's cat behavior right there. Man just went full cat.
No, it was either he was full cat or he was full furrow. Pick one.
Both. Infold knows no boundaries.
That is so true. But like the whole story is that like he's like spending time with MC, and then like he would be napping during my favorite part of the story was like he was like napping and he would wake up, and then MC like would wake him up or whatever. That was cute. And then my other part of the story was when he says that he was rubbing his scent against her, like like what every other cat does, for like possessive and territorial reasons, because
I mean, he's a fucking Maine
and then he
Coon.
says, and I quote, "You are mine." And I was like, that's right.
Bruh.
And then when MC's like making the macaroons, he was like, "Add more sugar." And then
Man
MC's
just
like,
wants
"But you're a
sugar.
cat.
Add more
I'm
sugar.
making macaroons. I don't care. Add more sugar." He was like looking her at her dead in the eyes. Add more sugar.
No, because the fact that he's
she's
a
like,
fucking
"No, I'm
doctor
making
makes this
macaroons."
worse.
He was like,
Like,
"You're making macaroons, right?" And she was like, "Yeah, I am." "Well, you better add more sugar." And she was like, okay." And he was like, "Yeah, that's not enough. Add more." And she was like, okay." And then she adds more.
This is why Zane has to go to the dentist so fucking much. Like that one, I can't remember whereabouts in the story it was, but when he comes out of the dentist, it's like, oh yeah, everything's fine, blah blah blah. Let's go to the dessert parlor. But if you have a toothache, shouldn't you avoid sweets? And it's like, dentists exaggerate all, doctors exaggerate all the time. Let's go.
Of course, yeah.
It's like, mate, you're just contradicting yourself because you're a fucking doctor.
But that was just absolutely funny. I was just laughing and stuff. And then,
Yeah.
are there any of the cat event? You know, we had like different individual stories and stuff. You know how they had to help
Mm-hmm.
out the cafe. In the end, he was very like sweet and like was able to like relax with MC and get the little playground done, and the
It
little
was
kitties had fun
cute.
at least. It was said that the kitties wanted Zane to come back, and Zane was like, "Yeah, no, I'm gonna go back to work. It was
Uh,
fun while it lasted."
Yeah, man literally works too much. This was like his fucking vacation. Mind you, would you take your doctor seriously if he just suddenly had cat ears and a tail?
That is true, but he also said that if he had the cat ears and tail permanently, he would be in the pediatric. How do you call it? Working with
Pediatrician?
children. Yeah, he
No.
would be a
Yeah.
pediatrician. Yeah, yeah. He said that he would be that instead of like being like a normal common doctor, due to the fact that no one would take him seriously and only the kids would.
Yes, Dr. Kitten Whiskers. Thanks, hon.
Like, can you imagine
I
a
can.
cardiologist with cat ears and it tells like, "Hey, yeah, so it turns out to be you have like a tumor in your heart," and instead of like
Thank you.
paying
Thank you.
attention to him, you see his ears flicker every 30 seconds.
That would be funny. No, but it's like, okay, imagine this, right? Zane trying to
Yeah.
perform surgery with his fucking scrubs on, right? And it's just
Yeah,
like,
them scrubs
cat
on his
ears and
face.
tail.
The hair's gonna be all over the place. He's gonna be like shedding and everything. He's not gonna be happy.
Man's gonna have
He's
to
gonna be like,
like,
"I feel uncomfortable."
someone's gonna have to like fucking tape his like cap on. You know what I mean? So that he doesn't like shed hair or from the ears. I don't know. I just feel like it would be really funny. Just every now and again, you just see like the cap move.
Definitely Zane was pretty possessive in this card too. Like the way how he was like, "Oh, I'm just rubbing my scent against you because you know you belong to me. You don't need anyone else." That was kind of
Average
funny.
cat moment. Average cat moment.
Yeah.
Anything else on Zane's card?
All I can say is that the card was like pretty sweet. If I okay, right now this is my ranking for it. It's my number one ranking, not just because I'm a Zane girly, but because it kind of presented more like Butler like. The other ones, like
Yeah.
for example, it felt like Xavier's card didn't feel like a Butler. It almost feels like we were babysitting him,
I feel like with
uh
Xavier, you always feel like you're babysitting him
and then
to some capacity.
Raphael, it almost feels like we were taking care of him, like if he was sick or whatever. Therefore, he was just all over us, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
And then Zane felt more like Butler, like it kind of like stuck with the theme, so that's why he won first place in my judgment. And then there's Silas. Silas didn't feel, in my opinion, didn't feel like a Butler. It feel like more like a secret spy, like a
Mm.
007 movie.
But I do like that it was very heavily Butler themed as well, with the whole like undercover he's your cat
Yes,
butler thing. I feel like
yes.
Zane's and Silas's cards were the ones that stayed the most on theme, but Silas's card got a little creative with it because I feel like if they made them all just like Zane's, it would get not only very repetitive, but kind of
But
bland.
then people would have gotten bored. Yeah, kind of bland. So like
Yeah.
each one had a perspective of like what a butler was. Like essentially, I didn't feel like Raphael was like a butler nor Xavier. Maybe Xavier was a butler while MC was gone for the business trip, and then we have just Raphael. Knowing
Mm-hmm.
Raphael, he doesn't like cats, but he was just wearing the outfit to make MC happy.
Yeah.
So, in this case, Zane's and Silas did stick with the theme. My number one card goes to Zane. then Silas, then Raphael, then Xavier. That is my ranking.
Speaking
And
of
then
Silas, we have yet to talk about his card. Now,
yeah,
I'm
go
not
ahead.
gonna lie, half of the time I was laughing my ass off.
Okay.
Um, in like the best way possible. Because not only did it start off as, oh, the reason he got turned into a cat was because after having a game of kitty cards with MC, he just like touched one of the cats. Like, that's just so unhinged. And then it's like the cat cafe just kidnapped him, essentially. Like, imagine kidnapping the
Yeah.
fucking leader of Honor Kindness.
How are you not scared? You're
No,
like,
but it's like,
yeah, I'm
it's
gonna
just so
take you
funny
with
that,
me.
like, of all the people that managed to kidnap the leader of Honor Kindness, it's a fucking cat cafe. And, like, not only that, but I guess I kind of enjoyed the whole kind of, like, you're trying to make him into a good butler. I feel like that was a nice contrast to Zane's one, that he was, like,
Oh,
Zane was,
like
like, already a good butler.
yeah. So in the beginning of the story, what I remember was that the Autobot was like, he doesn't know how to treat our guest right. He's
Yep,
misbehaving.
yep.
Here, you can rent him out of a day as long as you pay us. And she was like, deal. MC was like, deal. Here's the money.
She
And
paid
give me the service or
$100 for him, and he
whatever.
was literally like, "Is that all I'm worth to you?" And it's like, "Do I look like I have a black Amex card like you dipshit?"
Exactly. That shit was funny as fuck. So now they're on their way on a mission. And what
On a
was their goal?
fucking like yacht and as well.
Yeah, they went on a yacht and they had it to like discuss with like really rich people and whatever. And a lot of people were very intrigued with Silas' appearance because he had a tail and he had, ears, and he was
Yeah,
extremely
because it was
aggravated.
like the person that we were looking for, Snowy Owl, was very interested in like evolvers who could have appearance modifications. And
Yeah.
Silas just so happened to fit the bill at the time, which just made MC's mission easier. I don't know. I just kind of like when stories or cards look into MC's work life, because we see so much of her private life just like casually in game, like, through the text messages, through like the dates, like that's all the casual stuff. And I feel like we don't get much of the official Hunters Association stuff outside of the main story. And even then, it's not that prominent, in my opinion, because it's MC doing a bunch of her own shit still.
Yeah, that is true.
So I kind of liked that it was an undercover mission thing. Um, but the man that the oh, fuck, I can't speak. The fact that this man was such a bitch during the whole thing, I fucking loved it.
He just like, and then on top of that, that one scene when we get the cutscene, he was
Mm-hmm.
like, "You're not really training me for another woman. You do understand I only want you, right? I did not consent to be or to talk for another woman." And she was like, "Well, come on, role play so we can like get intel or whatever." And yes, they did the role play, but like in the very end, he didn't follow through the role play rules. He kind of did, but then he did his
He
thing
fucking
his own
stole a
way.
gun.
He was like, "I have a gun."
Yeah, he was literally like, "Oh yeah, I casually stole this gun," and MC's like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, I just like took this." It's like, that
And
wasn't
then
part
when
of
they
the
go
plan,
on
and
the
it's like, well, it is now.
and then they escaped using a boat.
Yeah, that was. I'm not gonna lie, that just felt like something straight out of James Bond. That, like, fancy ass outfits on a
Definitely.
speedboat making a getaway
It
with
definitely felt
cat.
like 007. Like the ending felt
Yes.
very 007 coded.
But don't get me started on the whole, like, oh, you seem so agitated on this boat. And it's like, I'm a fucking cat. I'm on a boat. Of course I'm fucking agitated. I don't like water. And then it's like, oh
And
yeah,
he's
give
like
me my
trying to rent a
sedative. Give
maniac
me my
too.
sedative. And it's like, the smell of familiar pheromones. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck? When did this come into play?
He was like, "Oh yes, the smell of MC's pheromones keeps me calm and cool. That way I don't kill anyone with this
That
pistol."
way I don't kill the seagulls or the parrot.
Yo, he had the audacity to grab the seagull, and MC's like, "Hey, let him go, let him go!" And he was like, "Nuh-uh, let him go, I say." He's like, "Fine."
But the funniest thing was, like, in the cat event, his chibi would sometimes, like, have Mephisto hunted in his hand. And I
feel
just find that
sad for
so funny.
Mephisto. Mephisto was like, I had enough of you, boss. I felt
Ah,
so bad.
I thought it was so funny. But then again, I feel
Let's talk
like
about
Mephisto is just the meme lord sometimes of love and deep space.
that is so true. Let's talk about his outfit. His outfit was definitely giving. It was
His
really good.
outfit was giving. I love how it was like the perfect blend of technically it's his color, but not, if you know what I mean. Like it's very close to being like his colors that we see him wear a lot, but it's different enough to make it pop and stand out.
So he wasn't a normal cat, he was a wild cat. So he was a caracal, I think that's what you
Yeah, he
call it.
was a caracal, yeah.
So he was giving sassy, he was giving possessiveness,
He was giving
he was giving
wild.
wild.
Man was
Wild.
just a fucking joyride.
That is so true.
But it's also, I saw someone point out, like, with his outfit, or like the case with a lot of his outfits actually, is that he has either a necklace or like some sort of jewel that's pointing towards the heart or like where the crystal on his chest would have been in his like dragon form. And I find that really neat. But it's also one of his necklaces makes me question if he had two.
Another thing that I also want to put is that in that scene, he should have just kissed MC, in my opinion.
Yeah, but at this, so like, I really hoped we'd get the Silas kiss in this one. But at the same time, I am low-key giddy that they saved it for the myth.
The myth is going to be absolutely amazing.
I
hope everyone gets it.
apologize for the person I'm about to become tomorrow.
I don't know if I'm gonna get the myth. Again, I'm a Zane girly. I'm still debating if I should get it. Many people have told me that I should get it. I don't know if I want to. I'm still thinking about it.
The choice is up
because
to you.
I
The choice
wish
is up to
I
you.
played this game sooner. I wish I had like Raphael's myth and Zane's.
Mm.
Just cause, yeah. What are your theories for tomorrow?
Oh god, I feel like I'm gonna get my heart shattered. I feel like I'm gonna be taken on a fucking emotional roller coaster tomorrow.
Yep.
Like,
Definitely.
I saw a TikTok and I fucking hate that I saw it, but I low-key don't. And it was something like someone googled dragons like mating rituals, and then they pointed out that it takes place in the sky. And there's that one scene in the trailer where Silas literally carries MC through the sky.
Another thing that I'm just sort of confused is that we see MC with a tail in his myth. Is she also a dragon?
Maybe. I mean, so I know that like when we discussed this privately, you were like, oh, it's probably not that, it's something else. Well, let me just get the quote real quick. It's when you go into like the with him section for like the desks and stuff, and you go into his and you go into our story. He said we're the same and knows me. What's going on here? I'm wondering if there's going to be a parallel that like MC and Silas are both dragons, or like MC's like a half dragon or something like that, or like dragon ancestry kind of thing. Hello. Hello, Happy the Dragon. Thank you for the follow.
Hi, Happy. That's one of my friends.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm watching this.
But yeah, so it's like, I feel like MC's gonna have some sort of dragon lineage, or like not full dragon.
Of course, yeah.
It's either that or it's purely aesthetic for Silas.
Yeah.
Hello. But yeah, so I don't know, I just found it interesting that like not only did they Infold chose to link them with like the whole energy linkage and the whole ether core thing, I'm wondering if they're going to play on that as well in the myth, that like they're both, that like MC is draconic in some way or another.
Another thing that I'm sort of confused about is that we have the linkage with MC and Silas, and
Mm-hmm,
how they're
mm-hmm,
cuffed together and stuff. That there's like the images like of the red background of Silas being inside of a cage and MC
mm-hmm.
being outside of the cage. You've seen it before, right? You know what
Yeah,
I'm talking
yeah,
about?
yeah,
Like, I'm starting to think that he gets punished somehow, or they both get punished. I also have a theory that they could have been like long lost lovers and that they at some point they were married,
I would love for that
and
to be the
her
case.
and that her memory was wiped. Or my other theory is that she was his first love.
Mm.
So there's that. Or that they were both each other's first love until her memory, MC's memory, was wiped away with when she was in a certain age. So kind of like
Yeah.
what Raphael's story branch, kind of what Raphael went through, kind of could be what's going on as well for Silas, in my opinion. I also feel like, I don't know, just something about both of them. They have share, common interests with MC and Silas. I feel like they could be like they were once married before, or they could have just been like their first love.
Mm-hmm.
So seeing this seeing what's gonna happen tomorrow, I don't know. I just hope it isn't as hurtful and traumatizing because we already have Xavier's traumatizing card tomorrow.
Mood.
I'm not
But
honestly,
like,
I'm ready for Xavier's card, but at the same time, I'm not ready because we had this cat event, and then now we're
yeah,
gonna get tomorrow that's gonna
balls
be
deep.
really sad, balls deep in. So, you know, I feel bad for the Xavier girlies. Like, I hope nothing bad happens, but the only
Mm.
bad thing that could happen in the back of my head is that if Xavier does quote unquote pass away, he technically isn't dead.
Yeah, because you mentioned with the anecdotes and stuff that he does like come back technically.
He- He's certainly going to come back.
There is no
And
way Infold would get rid of
there's no
him.
way Infold get rid of him. He's the face of Love in D Space, and he is the face that started
It's
Love
an
in D
onion.
Space.
Hi, cat.
However, if Xavier is to be gone tomorrow, for example, because MC can't resonate with him in time, from what I've seen through the trailers and all
Mm-hmm.
the theories that I read through Reddit, I feel like it is going to be a very big, and this is just a theory, it's just an estimate. This is a really big theory. Take it as you want. I feel like if Xavier was to be temporarily gone, something that they did with Caleb, not gone for long, but gone for like maybe 1 month or so, or just gone for just a little bit, I feel like this is a perfect opportunity to bring a new love interest, which everyone knows is going to be Caleb.
Yes, I agree. But it's also I wonder, and this is purely speculating on no evidence whatsoever. Um,
Yeah.
that Xavier coming back will have something to do with the deep space tunnel.
Who knows if the deep space tunnel will break
Because
or something happens to it, because there's
yeah.
other alternative universe of each of the men that we have encountered. For example, there's Zane and there's Dawnbreaker Zane, and like there's other alternative universes of each of the guys.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't be surprised if Deep Space something happens to Deep Space just in general, or just Philos in general.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I need to change the picture real quick. Hang on. Let me look for a more appropriate picture than the Silas one, because we're off the topic of Silas.
Yeah.
Where's like something from Xavier's?
Story
Since
branch.
yeah, since we're talking about Xavier, I'm just gonna pop on the thingy picture.
Hmm.
That is big. That's that's big. Give me like 2 secs. Okay.
Now that I think about it, deep down, if something was to happen to Xavier tomorrow, I want to tell all the Xavier girlies, please do not delete Love in D Space. As hard as it is, don't do it. You help. so much the company in general. I get it, you're mad. However, he is not gone forever. He is still the face of Love in D Space. He is still one of the main faces of Love in D Space, and memories and more new cards will be released for him. Less regard. Don't let it, don't let it discourage you to not play the game. He's still gonna come back.
Oh yeah, for
Just
sure.
because
There's no way Enfold would actually kill him off.
Info will not kill him off.
Yeah.
However, because they have to still continue a certain story and they're trying to find the proper climax for the story, and because I'm pretty sure besides Caleb, we're also going to get another love interest, which no one really knows about.
Oh, I've just realized, Xavier's story branch starts from December 7th, or at least like the free memory does.
Oh,
Yeah. I don't know if the story branch is going to be out tomorrow or if they're going to wait until the 7th. It's probably going to be out tomorrow because of an update, but like the free memory won't be available until the 7th. I've just noticed that.
okay.
Um
Just don't let it discourage you from not from playing the game, because again, the game is still, updating. They're still putting stuff for the story branch. They're still doing
yeah,
a lot of stuff.
exactly. Like how do I say this? Infold would never seriously kill off a love interest that's already in the game. That's first and foremost. Like just from a marketing standpoint, they would not do that. Like
However,
it would plummet
yeah,
their all of their statistics. So they would not do that. But yeah, he's going to be back.
he's gonna be
Um
back. If they kill him in the next chapter, he's gonna be revived, or something happens with the deep space tunnel.
I feel like as soon as cuz the deep space tunnel is kind of teased throughout the main story a lot. That like they're trying to make contact with like the other side. I feel
Hmm.
like as soon as that happens, like as soon as they manage, Xavier's gonna be back.
Yes,
That's my little theory.
but I
Um,
feel like there's going to be a consequence.
yes. Oh my god. What if Xavier gets stuck as either Xavier or Lumiere?
Well, if you come to think about it, Lumiere is an alter ego.
I mean, yeah, but what if he like gets stuck in one and the other just like kind of doesn't exist for a while?
I mean, it could. I don't. Well, yes and no, but it could happen.
It could happen. You never know.
I mean, Jeremiah likes to say that Lumiere is just an alter ego. So like it's more like a facade that he puts to hide his identity. But that
Yeah.
facade can sometimes be like his like another personality, or like a vessel sometimes.
Mm. There was something I was gonna say about Xavier, but I forgot. Fuck. Shit.
If anyone wondering what mythology Xavier goes by, or
Oh
what story he goes
yeah.
by, it's actually the
He.
Little Prince, the Little Prince myth.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's like a
It
French
is French,
European
yeah.
myth.
It's
Okay,
Le Petit Prince.
yeah.
I had
So
to
if you
study
haven't,
this shit. Flashbacks.
and another thing that really intrigued me about this story branch is the fact that it's not MC dying this time, it's actually Xavier dying in MC's hands.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm starting to think that he had done some type of deal with deep space or something with the philo gods or whatever to make sure that MC is alive in present lifetime. Because typically in the trailer, I don't know if you guys saw it, but in the trailer you see Xavier say, "Well, finally, it's me this time, and it's not you, and at least you're safe." You know that part that where he's like comforting
Mm-hmm.
MC while he's starting to weaken or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. So I was actually surprised because it would give a bit of a plot twist if it was MC in a way. But no, they didn't. They didn't do MC. It was Xavier slowly fading away. That scene specifically reminded me of an anime. I forgot the anime. It had like fireflies or whatever, and it's like the guy with
Yeah.
like a fox max. You know which one I'm talking about,
I
right?
know which one you're talking about, but I also can't think of the name.
Oh, okay. It reminded me of that for a bit, and then we have like in the trailer, it seems that MC couldn't resonate any longer with Xavier, and Xavier's like slowly fading away, and
Oh
then
my god,
MC resonates
theory.
again.
He gave up his evil.
I mean, yes, and another reason why, let me back that up. Another reason is that Ever has like a necklace chain on his neck. Like, you
Yes.
remember when you, so
Uh,
like technically he's like Ever's like property.
got to go for now. Great stream. Stay safe. Okay, thank you. See you next time,
Thank you.
hopefully.
Stay safe.
No, but yeah, I found it intriguing that he has basically like a collar around his neck while MC has a watch.
Yeah, but here's the thing. The reason he has a collar on his neck is because Ever keeps control of his evil. If he uses his evil in full intent or like potential, he could do a lot of harm because his ability is pretty strong.
Hmm.
But here's the thing, Ever has control of him in that sense.
I wonder if Eva just decided to go Thanos snap with the evil.
I don't know. Who knows?
I wonder if it was like another case of like so you know how Zane had like that whole Astra thing that he's basically got the fucking ice going up his body or whatever. What if Xavier's evil became too unstable?
That too.
It became too unstable, it became too much of a liability. So Eva just kind of went Thanos snap.
I could see that. Definitely, definitely.
I mean, it's called love and depression for a reason. Love and deep depression.
Yeah, it is what it is. But another thing is that he said about 214 days till like spring till he's like gone, or his last day of spring. I remember him making that quote. It's somewhere in his
Yes, it was on his
anecdote.
birthday, I'm pretty sure.
It was on his birthday. It was on the last banner
Mm-hmm.
and the artifact banner, like it was on that one. It was on
Yeah. I'm pretty sure there was
anecdote and in
something
his
about it in the
bio.
Misty Invasion that he's like losing his senses.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure that was like the main plot point, and the reason they got freaky was because he was like losing his senses, slowly losing like his sense of smell and taste and touch and whatever. I don't know if that was like purely serious or not. I won't lie, I didn't pay too much attention to the memory at the time.
He always talks about it's like his last spring, so like who knows if this story branch is literally the last spring that we get to see Xavier. I'm not, because like yes, Xavier dies, but he's not technically dead. He's still a
Yeah.
god of some sort. He's still technically royalty to Deep Space. So like he's not completely gone. He's gone temporarily for the story, but that doesn't mean that they're not gonna make any memories and that he's not gonna be in any quad banners
Oh
anymore.
yeah, like
Because
so
this
many of the
does
memories are so ambiguous in their timeline of like when they take place in the
exactly,
story.
of course. Um, Another thing that we should note is that what do you call it? Xavier isn't gonna die or whatever. It's just gonna give the biggest opportunity for like January's like big thing, because like you guys have to remember that we're also gonna get the anniversary, Love and Deep Space
Mm-hmm.
anniversary. So we might get one reruns potentially, and then
I
the second
really
thing
hope
that we
so.
is Caleb, because like everyone keeps talking about it. China has been hinting and foreshadowing it for a month now. Every time they have events or like just banner events or whatever, and they're hosting events now, as of recently, they are showing Caleb everywhere they go, which is hinting that Caleb it is the next love interest. Not only that, some I saw like this TikTok post of someone that it was in China in front of the Infold building or the Infold
Yes,
company
that Caleb
and
was
they
with all of
showed
the love interests on the
that
advert.
Caleb was in the trailer for all of the love interests, which was hinting at everything and at everyone that Caleb is confirmed to come back. We don't know for sure if he's going to come back as the villain, as like ever, because we all have theories that
I
Caleb is
I
the
really do believe
CEO
the
of
theory that
Ever.
Caleb is the CEO of Ever. I really do. Don't ask me why. I just feel like it really fits, and with like we've seen like a little snippet of what the guy looks like, and it just kind of matches up, you know?
Like his voice is like maybe his like a little bit of the facial expression looks like Caleb. Maybe Caleb like hided his identity. We don't know, but I do know for a fact and for sure that Caleb could potentially, like every other dating sim game, we always get a bad guy. Silas isn't a bad guy. He's more like an anti-hero, but they usually and will typically always have someone that is bad but only has a soft spot for the main character. So
Yes.
who knows if Caleb is going to be that guy.
I feel like he is. I feel like his disappearance from the story was way too convenient. Like
It
if
was,
you think
yeah.
about it, so like the explosion happens. The explosion happens just before MC steps inside, but literally right after Caleb steps inside the house. That's point number 1. Point number 2, after the explosion, all we find of Caleb is the like friendship necklace thingy. That's a bit suspicious. That kind of looks like planted evidence. And then
Yeah.
it's like, I mean, it was an explosion. There would be no bodies found, but it's like, that's a little too convenient as well. And it's like that whole entire segment, it just, I don't know, it just kind of felt like he knew what was happening.
Another thing that I also like want to mention is that when Caleb explodes or whatever, you know how grandma dies.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the reason that grandma had to die, or the reason they killed off grandma, was because grandma is MC's creator. And so, because there was so much intel and information over the science experiments and just in general of
Mm-hmm.
MC's whereabouts, backgrounds, past memories, and memories in general, those were like really important, closed, classified information that they had to like ever wants to like have. So like if you come to think about it, MC is also wanted. The thing is, MC isn't completely wanted just because Ever is like, you know what? There's other problems out there. Let me go ahead and knock each and every other love interest chart, which is Zane, Raphael, and now we
Mm-hmm.
have Xavier. So now that they're using Xavier's weaknesses, which is like him becoming a star, which is part of like his story or whatever. Who knows if this is gonna be like something big for the next chapter, because we also need to get Silas's story branch, but I don't think we will get a story branch for Silas just yet, because to me it's starting to foreshadow that we're going to get more intel about Ever. As you can see, we
Yeah.
are getting stories, and just out
But
of all the branches from the first to the end now, or for like when Xavier comes out, we're going to see whatever is about. Because from Raphael's story branch, we got to know that they are trying to look like for certain protocols or whatever to do experiments, illegal experiments, and illegal transactions or whatever, or take a hold, or just in general, they're going to most likely give us either a cliffhanger or plot for the next story
I
that is going to
feel
come
like
out.
though I feel like Silas might get a story branch that expands on Ever. And hear me out on this one. Purely because when we first meet Silas, like with the whole thing before we shoot him with the gun, blah blah blah, he's like the people closest to you might want to kill you the most. I feel like Silas knows more about Ever than he lets on, and I feel like if we get a story branch with him, it will be
Hmm.
just like another like snippet into like Silas's anecdotes and stuff. But because of the nature of like what Silas's character does in the N109 zone and like the entire nature of honor kindness, I feel like it would be the perfect opportunity to expand more on Ever, that like we use Silas to find out all of this information. We use Silas and his resources to find it. Not use him, but like you know what I mean. That like with Silas's help we find out more information on Ever through like less than legal means.
Yeah.
Because that's like Silas's bread and butter.
Hmm. Um. Now for Caleb, I can't wait for Caleb to come out, just because like I just want to see like everyone's reaction when he's out. Like some people love him, but some people just don't like him. Like, what are your intake, or what is your input with Caleb? I personally,
Ooh.
he's like in between. Like I like him, but like he's like not the character that I would choose. But like for the story, I don't mind like reading his story or just reading him out just in general.
I feel like I'm leaning more towards the I don't like him spectrum, purely because it would be like we all know that Zayn, MC, and Caleb were all like childhood friends. I feel
Yeah,
like
that is true.
while it would be really interesting for plot and stuff to have like a reunion between the three of them and like another love interest that's a childhood friend, I feel like there's only so much you can do with like childhood friend tropes that hasn't already been done with Zayn in a way. You know what I mean?
I feel like you know how we have there is the Raphael versus Silas beef going on where
Yeah.
Raphael is trying to look after Silas and Silas has a bounty over Raphael's head. What if we get something similar between Zayn and Caleb beefing over MC?
Yes. They so would. It's like I became a doctor. Well, I became a CEO. Well, you're a shit CEO. I see that. I see that beef.
Also, no one talks enough about this. Like, no one has like had the chance to sit down and talk about certain stuff, like little stuff, the little details. And can we just all agree? Because I haven't seen anyone make a TikTok about it. Only like very few, but no one really pays attention to it. Is that Raphael has telepathic abilities?
Yes, pop off, Queen. Take it. Take it away.
Like, can we like rewind a bit and like talk about his story, like Raphael's story branch, like just in general, like his ability when he got the sea god ability, and when MC was like not really unconscious or whatever, but like was seeing the old memory that Raphael was transferring to her, like a very old memory that MC didn't even remember that even existed. Like he had the ability to show her that old memory, but he also had the ability to like how can I say this, like to make it stop or for her to not get scared, like to forget
Mm-hmm.
about it. Just Miss Walker and the way how he expressed like his love just in general is like I don't know, like I feel like a lot of people are missing out in his anecdote and just in his myth, just in
Mm-hmm.
general, like how he has the ability to use telepathy to make MC forget about certain stuff and to also regain memory about certain stuff. And no one hasn't really talked about it. Like I'm actually kind of shocked. He also has like this really weird way of like doing these paintings and being able to manipulate people with his paintings, which in a way is still technically telepathic abilities. So like
Yeah, for real.
it's really interesting. And then another thing is that when he makes the deal with the Ever of CEO, I have this big ass theory that if Caleb is the CEO of Ever and that he made that deal in that scene where he was like, "Oh yeah, but I caught," on and I quote, he says, "Oh yeah, but I caught bigger bait," which means like did he trade off Silas to Ever
See, I
because he knew
interpreted
that?
that as him trading MC off to Ever,
Because like
ironically.
yeah, that was yeah, the way how I saw it, it almost felt like that Silas was the bait because you know how Silas has a bounty on his head.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know that Raphael has a bounty on his head. And for Raphael to be safe, he was like, you know what? Let me trade off, like you said, like MC to go to Silas or whatever. But just know that I caught something big because she's with Silas.
Yeah.
Therefore, Ever is like, yeah, we need more intel about, Silas.
Mm-hmm.
So I always had the feeling that either Raphael is like low key getting manipulated by Ever, or he's just messing around to get to Silas knowing that he has a bounty over his head.
I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, maybe Raphael and the CEO of Ever are having like a manipulative game of chess. Because I feel like
Yes, this is
Raphael is
true.
a pretty skilled manipulator.
That
Um,
is true.
with like the whole
That is
telepathy and
canon.
everything. Yeah, that is canon. I feel like he either is letting himself be quote manipulated, which then it isn't really manipulated, but I don't know how else to describe it. Or he's playing a mental game of chess where the CEO of Ever is manipulating Raphael, Raphael's manipulating him back. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Definitely, definitely. I feel like because like Raphael is not a bad guy. Most people, like most of the new fans, are saying that Raphael betrayed MC, that Raphael did this, Raphael did that. You guys have to understand that Raphael would is a bit impulsive in the sense of way that he would risk certain things to get what he wants. However, his risks are like kind of like gambling, kind of like Silas. Silas does the same thing, but yet
Yeah.
he might not have he Silas might not have good luck, but what gives him good luck is by being either abundant, which that is why he's rich, or being prosperous and using MC and MC using her psychology to get somewhat decent luck. And then there's just Raphael, who is very charming and just naturally manipulating to get what he wants because he can do it. Again, he's part siren, he's a mermaid. Mermaids, technically, they lure people in with their voice. So if he doesn't have his art, he still has his voice. Less regard.
Exactly. And like we've seen, I haven't played the story branches yet. I'll put that out there. But like we've seen that the god of tides is basically awakening in Raphael again, right?
Yes.
So I
Yes.
wonder if
That's
that's even
true.
gonna like further just enhance his siren abilities. I'm wondering, right, if because the god of tides wasn't awoken yet, is why he can only use his telekinesis on a smaller scale, like his siren abilities on a smaller scale, like paintings, because you're like
Of
making
course.
it into something, you're putting it into a vessel. I wonder if now that the god of tides is like awakened, if he's just
He
going to
is
be
definitely
able
awake.
to, you know, do the full like
I also
traditional
noticed that
siren.
I also noticed that when we see the cutscene for Raphael pinning, when Raphael's pinning MC and like the sea god was awakened or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, definitely when the this face when he's like saying that he's the god, that MC betrayed him or whatever, um, that was definitely like a past time Raphael speaking. We're not that was definitely not current time Raphael
Oh
speaking.
yeah,
That's
no,
definitely
for sure.
past time
I
Raphael recognized
wonder
MC
if it's
as
going
like
to
the betrayal
be
that he went through.
I wonder if it's going to be the same thing that happens with Zane sometimes, where he becomes Dawnbreaker briefly and then kind of comes back too, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
I Yeah, I have a feeling this is for next video. I will definitely cover Dr. Zane, Dawnbreaker, and Blade Runner 2049 within their similarities. I
Oh
definitely have
boy.
to break you down.
Oh, we are going to be covering so much because I'm going to be helping you look for evidence.
Jesus. Guys, Dawnbreaker is heavily inspired by Blade Runner 2049. Please prove me wrong.
Is that possible? Is it possible to prove you
Like
wrong?
like Officer K is so okay. So Officer K and Dawnbreaker is just very similar. The way how the movie starts, just in the book, and his antidote and everything is very similar. Like from the beginning to the end is very similar. The only difference is that Blade Runner takes place in the same timeline. Well, actually, that's not a difference. A similarity. One similarity is that it takes place during the same timeline. But that is something for another video that we will cover it up soon. But that's
Yeah.
gonna be interesting.
Is there anything else that we kind of want to cover this time around? I'm thinking.
The romance for tomorrow's
Oh, my
myth.
heart is gonna be broken and put back together and then broken again. And I apologize for the person I'm gonna become tomorrow. I know I keep saying it, but like I really do. I'm gonna be balls deep in Delulu land. You will not be able to drag me back up. I will be like a fucking ostrich, fucking head in the sand, balls deep in Delulu type shit. You will not be able to pull me out.
Definitely the romance is gonna be different because like from the other myths or whatever, we don't really see that deep connection or romantic levels of romance in the myth for Xavier, Raphael, or Zane. Like Zane, yeah, there was a kiss, but Zane was dying, and then there was like Raphael. I'm not too sure for like Raphael's myth. Correct me if I'm wrong. I didn't really see a kiss. Maybe because I haven't finished the
I
story.
mean, we know
But
not Zane's. We know Silas's one is getting a kiss. Like, it's in the trailer. We also know we get a hickey,
Zane
but that's
gets a
beside
kiss
the point.
at the end, though. Like Zane
Yeah.
gets a kiss at the end while he was dying. That was his first and his last kiss with MC. And then we have
Don't break my heart.
Xavier, and then we have whatchamacallit, Raphael's. But Raphael, instead of kissing MC, he wipes her memory away using his telepathic abilities.
As you do. You know, nothing better to do. No, but it's like, oh, I'm terrified for tomorrow.
The romance is gonna be peak.
I feel
I
like
know that.
I really do feel like one of the myth cards, and I think this is kind of supported by the trailer, but like one of the myth cards is going to be when they first met. Like we kind of know that, and the second card is gonna be like kind of like almost a time skip when they're like further in their romance. You know what I mean?
But here's the thing: you also have to consider the fact that this myth card is going to be painful because always the second card is the most traumatizing card because it always leads to a punishment
No.
or to a death. We don't know. It is foreshadowed that his death is a thing.
It's not
However,
really foreshadowed. It's basically confirmed.
it's confirmed. So, yeah.
I'm
I'm
gonna.
still debating if I should get the story tomorrow. I'm like, should I? I don't know. Do I really
Worst case
decide about
scenario,
it?
if you end up not wanting to get it, I will stream it to you.
Yeah, that works too.
But yeah.
I couldn't get like the other guy's cards because like when I started playing the game, I started playing like during Misty Invasion, and I was like, it was like the last day, and the only card that I was able to pull for Misty Invasion was Raphael.
Mm. Um. Was it for Misty Invasion? I was lucky enough to get Silas. I can't remember who else I got. I know I got Zane's one. I feel like I may have gotten all four because I ranked 3 Silas.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna double check that because I really don't know. That's
Also,
like the thing. So
petition to Infold. If someone could just clip it and tag Infold and edit this portion of the video, dear Infold, my petition to you is add a trading system. Some of us girlies would really want to trade with other girlies for our preference card, even if they're like limited. We have limited cards. They might have some limited cards that they don't want. Let us trade the cards that we want for it, as long as we're responsible about it too.
it's not even
And
like
most
the ones we
importantly,
don't want. It's literally like Silas Gully. I'm not like I like Zane's cards, and it's like Like I like Zane's probably my second favorite out of the 4, but it's like Raphael and Xavier cards in the nicest way possible. I really can't really care for. So
exactly. And then me, who has so many Raphael cards and Xavier cards. Yes, I like Raphael. However, I main Zane more than Raphael. I don't mind talking about Raphael because his story is really interesting to me. However, I prefer Zane more. And Infold, please, please, please add a future trading system where we can trade in memories and 3 shard cards, 4 shard cards, and just 5 shard cards, and the cards that we just genuinely want, and then that we can just like evenly trade with others. Because that would make our life easier, and not even that, our pockets a little bit easier. Because what if we don't want to get a banner or whatever, but we kind of want to get like an old memory that we couldn't get? Then we just exchange or whatever. That sounds like a really cool idea. So please
mm,
add a trading system. Thanks.
please let us add friends from international servers.
That is true.
I am on EU server. Nellie's on US.
US.
Lord
I'm on the
help
US
me.
server.
What is it? The closest we got to being friends in love and deep space was through a TikTok that I posted like yesterday, day before.
Yeah. Another thing that I also want to mention to Infold is that please give us more Dawnbreaker content. When I mean Dawnbreaker, I mean not like Zane wearing Dawnbreaker clothing. I'm talking about like Ank's Dawnbreaker, like his point of view, like how his life is, and just in general, like cutscenes that mimic his life and just based out of the anecdote. That would be very interesting. Same thing for like Raphael's story branch, like and Xavier's story branch. Like I wish they added that pastime or just in general that version of themselves and have like cutscenes that are meant like for them instead of like skipping through certain stuff. I
Mm.
wish. Maybe one day, maybe not. But yeah.
Yeah. Anything else?
Uh if Info gave you the green light
Mm-hmm.
to choose for the next banner theme, what theme would you do and why?
Okay, I'm not gonna say what we're all thinking. I'm not gonna say like a festive kind of December banner. I'm thinking if I could choose any theme. Ah, that's that's a more difficult question than I thought. I would want a D&D theme. It's never gonna
Really?
happen, but I can just imagine that, like, it kind of like the yes cat caretaker cards, that something happened and they just got like transported into the world of D&D and they like become a class and like a race, and then like we go on this little D&D adventure.
That's cute. That's actually pretty cute.
And it's like the only way to get
Um
out of this like little trap world thing is to like complete the quest, and every like love interest has a different quest. That'd be cool.
This one, the theme that I would want, this might sound very interesting. This might sound a bit of a shocker. Actually, not even a shocker, just because I just naturally like this futuristic theme. Would most likely be a cyberpunk theme banner for all four guys,
Yes.
taking place in 2077. Cyberpunk. Like if they did a collab and they were like, you know what, let's make a collab, something even more futuristic. Because you guys have to understand, Love and Deep Space takes place around 2030 all the way to 2049 ish. So it'd be very interesting to see like very futuristic high tech and just in
Yes.
general where the you know politics are like all crazy and stuff in this in 2077, and like how technology is all crazy. It'd be very interesting to see each point of view how they survive, but at the same time like how they are in a futuristic surrounding, and how they would act, how they would survive, what would they do, you know?
Mm.
I would want to see that.
You know what I'd want to see, and I feel like we've talked about this in DMs already, is that like this is kind of like a holiday banner. I don't want it to be like, oh, Christmas, this, that, and the other, because I know not everyone celebrates Christmas. I don't fucking celebrate Christmas. My family does. I don't. But it's like I would really like for there to be just like a little like winter festive banner, just like us and the guys just doing like winter activities. Like going to
I
like a
mean,
winter wonderland
yeah.
type deal.
And the thing is, if you come to think about it, don't we collect like Christmas stuff in orbit? Like how come we don't get like a Christmas banner? You know what I mean? Or like a winter. Like I was able to unlock in Zane's orbit like these like reindeer Christmas gear. I
Yes,
don't know if
yes.
you
I
got
think
that
that
yet.
was general orbit.
Yeah, I
I
think it's
can't
general
check.
orbit. I
The
was able
server is in maintenance. I can't check anything. Just saying. But I'm
same,
pretty sure it was.
same.
I'm pretty sure it was either in Abyss Chaos or like the open orbit.
But all I can say is that uh they need to bring more like Christmassy stuff. Like I know they're not gonna do like a Christmas event, but if
I
they were
want
to do a
cringy
Christmas
Christmas
event,
sweaters.
oh my god, yes. And I want Raphael to wear a cat sweater.
I want Silas to just like have the most like, I'm one of those people, right? That they wear like a Nightmare Before Christmas sweater for Christmas. I want him to have something like that, Mephisto themed.
Like oh my
I
god,
want him to have
yes. And then
like a
Xavier.
fucking borderline festive, not festive Ugly sweater.
And then Xavier wearing like a crown themed ugly sweater, and then we see Raphael wearing like a mermaid ugly sweater, Zane wearing like a snowman with snowflake ugly themed
Yes.
sweater,
Yes.
and now we get Silas with the crows and feather themed sweater. So yeah, that'd be really cool.
Um okay, if you could make a line of outfits in Love and Deep Space, what would it be?
Hmm. Like a brand or.
Yeah, so like you know how we got like the emo outfit recently and like the old money outfit?
Hmm.
If you could make like an outfit like that is like the general love interest outfit, what would you make?
This might be a little controversial just because not everyone liked this fashion statement, but it has to be something like Victorian goth. Something like Phantom of the Opera, more of that clothing,
Yes.
but more precisely of that age. Like definitely Victorian goth. Like if you guys seen like Phantom of the Opera, we have like
Phantom
the
of the
singers, we have the
Opera,
ballet.
Jekyll and Hyde, um,
Yes.
was it
Stuff like that. Definitely like that era.
Frankenstein? Yeah, like
Something
very
that
much
just
the
like
gothic
stands the
horror.
most. Or just Victorian era, like Titanic. You know what the clothes that they were wearing, like
Do,
Louis
do,
Vuitton,
do,
Victorian.
do, 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 do. I'm sorry.
Honestly, they should make Heart of the Ocean necklace for Raphael. I'm just saying. For
Mm,
Christmas.
for Christmas. Um, what is it? If I got to make a line of outfits, ooh, I didn't even think this one through before I asked it because it's like there's a lot of good outfits in the game already. But I feel like this is really playing off just like something completely stupid. You know how we have like the onesies and they like feel completely out of pocket and all that?
Yeah.
I want them to make like a fucking pink cutesy outfit, kind of like something MC is making them wear against their will outfit. Like, you know, it's all pink, it's all frilly and girly, and they're just like, what the fuck?
Oh my god. Ballerina tutus on all of them.
Yeah. That would be good. That would be good.
That'd be cute.
That would be cute. Um, hmm.
How do you think they would be or how they would act as a dad? If Silas was to be a dad, what type of dad would he be? And why?
Chaos. That's all I see. Chaos.
He'd definitely be the most protective dad.
Oh yeah, for sure. Man stalked every single one of their classmates.
He's definitely gonna be a very protective dad. He has to make sure their child is in good hands and where
Man
was
ordered a
definitely gonna be
background check
following
on
them all the
everyone in
time.
the school. Not that's not even he background checked everyone in the school. The teachers, the students, the parents of the students, everyone.
Raphael would be that type of dad. Would be like, I'm the cool dad. Your mom is not that cool, but I give you what you want. If you know what I'm saying.
Raphael's the kind of person that
Raphael,
send his kids to private school.
yeah, definitely. I was gonna say that too. You and me have the same thinking. Yes. Yes, Raphael would be like, yeah, you're going to private school. You don't need to go to public school. But definitely Raphael would be a protective dad. Raphael's really good with kids canonically. I mean, like I have
Oh
like
yeah.
his like solo story branch, like the him
Mm-hmm.
painting with MC, painting lanterns and stuff, and like that story was just really beautiful and really well written. How he interacts with kids, and in the cat caretaker story, when he was like scolding the cat, he was like, "Oh yeah, leave the fish alone. See, we don't do that. Fish are friends, not food."
Nah,
he was
fish are
like
food.
being a, he was like being a parent. It was very adorable. And then
Yeah.
Xavier as a dad, Xavier would be sleeping most of the time. He'd be like, "Oh yeah, sure," and then all you hear is snoring in the background. But yeah, he Xavier would be a protective dad. But Xavier's like, "I'm too tired for all of this.
I
I'm pretty
feel
sure my kid would
like
be fine.
I feel
My
like the
kid has
kids would
money
take
too,
after
thanks."
him and we just have a family of sleeping people 24/7 and MC's just awake like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Zayn, I feel like we got a pretty good glimpse of what Zayn would be as a father in that one memory. I can't remember which one it was with like that instrument thingy. I can't remember what it's called.
How many people are saying that he would be somewhat of a strict dad? I don't think he would
I
be
don't
strict. Like,
think
yes, he's strict,
so.
but he would be an extent for like studies in general, but he would still give the free will to his kid to express and to
Yeah,
do
I
stuff
feel
and to
like
do activities, to grow, just in
his
general.
parents are canonically very strict. I feel like knowing what that feels like, he would want to be the complete opposite. Like, still like disciplined and whatever, but not like quite to the level that his parents were towards him.
Yeah.
Hmm. MC professionally dating four guys at once. How does she keep
That's
up?
so true. I am another theory that I also have is that they all know each other except Zane. Zane doesn't know them, but Raphael, Xavier, and Raphael know each other. Zane just doesn't care.
Zane is
Zane only
just
knows Caleb.
Zane is the only one that doesn't have a bounty on him, let's be honest.
He only has a bounty on his head in the Dawnbreaker universe, but he doesn't have a bounty in this present time.
Exactly.
He's like, I'm trying to keep my license. I'm a doctor.
Yeah. I think that's everything though.
Of course. Uh, trying to think of another thing that we can talk about. Um,
Hmm.
weddings.
I
Like, if
accidentally
we were to
bonked my
have a
phone.
wedding banner and we get like a
Oh
wedding
god.
story, like an alternative universe where we have a happy ending for all the guys. We all know
Never
we have
gonna
to choose.
happen. Never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it. Da,
I mean, I
da,
played so
da, da.
many dating sim games. I played so many dating sim games that some of them always provide like an alternative universe where you're able to marry your love interest for each of the guys. That there's each guy has the wedding story.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
wouldn't be surprised if Infold was like, you know what? Let's just give them. It's not canon. It's just filler. However, here you go. Because
Raphael would
sometimes you're
have the
gonna get like filler
bougiest
stories.
wedding known to man.
Yes,
I said what I
Raphael would be
said.
like, no. Raphael. Why do I feel like Raphael would have watched Titanic for like 30,000 times for the love scene? Is like in that scene, is like, oh yeah, draw me like one of your French girls. Raphael will indulge in that scene 30,000 times with MC. Like
Ay, ay, ay.
Raphael is like MC. Raphael and MC would just. I don't know. Raphael, he might seem a little innocent, but
He's
he's kind of
not.
funny. You know,
We've
that's
all
great.
seen the cat card. We've all seen how man was literally fucking boobs were a magnet for him.
She said boobies. He really came close to
He
saying
really
all he
just
heard
went.
was.
Am I wrong?
Bro, I want to make a meme of that scene and then scream on the top of my lungs and be like, "That's booby man!" and then cut it with the Law and Order theme in the background. That would have been funny.
Slay.
But yeah, Zane is very gentlemanlike. Okay, rank the cards. You haven't ranked your cards like all for all four actually.
What do you mean ranked my cards?
So like rank the best to least
Oh shit. Like in general?
in general.
Hmm. That's a hard one. I feel like my favorite Love and Deep Space card of all time was hmm.
Oh wait. This is just Cat Taker. Just all four
Oh,
cards Cat
Kitty
Taker.
Caretaker.
Hmm.
um I feel like the number one spot, I'm very much debating between Zayn and Silas. I could be biased. But it's like both of them kind of fit so well in different ways for me that I can't really discern between them. And
It's okay if you put
then
them as tied.
yeah, I'm putting them as
You can
tied.
tie them.
And then Raphael and then Xavier.
Yeah. So here is my thing. First place goes to Zane. Second place go to Silas. Third place Raphael. Fourth place Xavier. Now, funniest, rank it from the funniest story to the least funniest story for a cat taker.
Oh shit. Xavier.
Okay,
Raphael.
and then
Um Silas.
and then
Zane.
Zane. Okay, my opinion, the most funniest star go story actually. The funniest story goes to Xavier, Raphael, then Silas, then Zane.
Yeah, so we've got the same one for that one.
Okay, so who was the most uh cutest? Which card was like extremely cute to you or
Mm.
wholesome?
I'm not wholesome.
You're not
Well, we all
wholesome. Like
know
you
Xavier one
gotta.
was not wholesome. That one got freaky. I don't think any of the cards were wholesome. I mean, Zane's one was pretty
Zane was
wholesome.
wholesome. Zane was pretty wholesome.
Um, the other three were like, I mean, Silas's one wasn't very feral, but like it had its like, I like to call them Silas moments. Where it's just like, you know, Silas likes to banter, he likes to wind people up and just be an absolute bitch and a half, but like in a loving way.
Yeah.
Um, the other two are just downright feral.
Yeah, I can see that. Xavier and Raphael Yurley's one for real, for real.
Mm.
Okay. And for the last round,
Mm-hmm.
who had the most elegant card all of the four? This could be like it could be this is based out of appearance, personality, story, and just in general. Who was like the most elegant?
Ooh. Hmm. I feel like, oh, that one's hard because it's like Zane was the most elegant in terms of
Yes.
like the story. The appearance just felt the most butler to me.
Mhm.
But I also feel like Silas's one was extremely elegant because he was just putting on the act so much.
So like you tie those again.
Yeah. I wish somebody added a wholesome card for Xavier, right? Like, I feel like every card for Xavier since Misty Invasion has just been getting freaky. Fucker, flipper,
Okay,
bender,
I
backwards,
have a
baby, put your
theory.
back into it.
I have a theory. I have a theory why Xavier's card has been really freaky. He doesn't have much time left on Earth, so he has to have the Boombaya opportunity whenever he gets it. He gets it. You know,
Bye.
he says, "Hey, yo, girl, I might be a rabbit, I might be a shining star, but in the end of the day, you still have my."
At the at the end of the day, he needs to get neutered for the time being. Man needs to be put
Like
in horny jail.
he needs to get an ass whooping.
He needs to be put in horny jail.
Like how? And then like this man, Xavier is a thigh guy. Xavier likes thighs. Can we all agree?
But yeah, Misty Invasion kind of proved that. Raphael likes
And the cat
tits.
taker. And Raphael is like itty bitties. All you hear was I don't know if you guys heard it, but I definitely hear it. I had to put my headphones on to make sure that I heard it.
Oh
All
god.
you hear was the I'm gonna come closer to my mic. Hold on. He was like, and I'm like, boy, can you not?
I mean, Silas did the same with the whole like, oh, give me some more of my sedative, and I'm like, the fuck?
But like Silas, okay. Silas is an exception, but like Raphael though, like Raphael, like maybe chill, man. Like it's not that big of a deal. Like it's okay.
Raphael, chill.
Okay,
It's
but
just
like
boobs.
it's not that deep. It's not that deep.
It's
You don't
just
you don't have to
boobies.
do all that. It's not that deep. And he was like, yummy. Like you can definitely tell he was like nodding his head. And then the fact that how he he bent his back over, I was like, damn, he can get.
You wouldn't get it. What do you mean you wouldn't get it?
Oh,
Hun, you haven't
what do you
seen
mean
the
by that?
card.
You
I
haven't
think
seen
he's
the
on about the
card.
boobs thing. So you wouldn't get it with the boobies, and it's like, okay.
Like,
Okay.
and
Love you
Ellis,
too,
I think
hun.
like He pressed his face against her chest and he was like scrumptious. And
Actually,
then he was like, "Are you okay?" He was
actually,
like,
that's
"Are you
not.
okay? I'm so sorry."
That's not too far from what Abyss does. I can't even defend that. Anyway, moving swiftly on. Teehee.
He's freaking out.
Anyway, Zane's card was like nice and wholesome and tender. I feel like a lot of Zane cards are like that.
Yeah. Zane's
I'm not
card,
gonna lie, I
Zane
kind of
and
wish they did a
Essie
180 and just like made Silas and Zane the like extremely freaky ones. Like not Zane. Silas tends to be very suggestive, but it doesn't really tend to go anywhere. Like it just ends on a bit of teasing. Whereas Raphael and Xavier tend to go fucking feral a lot. And I just really want that like switch for like one memory, just to see what it would be like.
Okay, that's gonna be interesting. Like just seeing Zane and Silas doing the freakier stuff. I mean, like, come on, Infold. We be giving you our grown money. We have grown money. We are grown women wanting more. And all I ask of you is to add that little spice, that little itty bitty spice on both for Zane and Silas.
I
And
mean,
I
they add
swear to you,
spice, but it's suggestive, but it doesn't like
it's
hit
still
as
suggestive.
hard
Like,
as
also,
Raphael and Xavier, who are literally just pounce.
like Info, I have a petition for you. Make your game 18 plus. I guarantee you the whole
Nah.
world will bombard you with money.
I feel like that would be a bit far. I feel like, I don't know, personally, I like the level of kind of like fade to black that the game has, where
Yeah.
it's like, you know they did it. You know
they know they did it.
you
Yeah,
know
use
you
your
did it, but you
imagination.
just
You
can't prove
animate
it. You know what I mean? I know they did
Yeah,
it, but I
they
just can't prove
they
it.
definitely did it.
I really like
I have
that.
a good question. I have a good
Oh?
question. What is your favorite, the little midnight audios, ASMR audios in the game?
Oh god!
Oh yeah, I said it. I said it. I must know.
Wait, are we talking like the 4-star memory ones or like the proper like tender moments ASMR shit?
Tender ASMR, the night ones, and then we can talk about the day ones.
Op. Oh, there was one. I forgot what it was. And I can't even look it up. Shit! You know that there's like that one meme where it's like Silas Girlies on their on their time of the month. And
that
like
one,
it's that yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. My favorite one is Sanctuary, when you level your character to level 70, and that is when you level Zane to level 70. Very pretty, very demure, very elegant. I
Very
like the
cutesy,
sounds
very
that
demure, very
occur. Very
mindful.
cutesy, very mindful. You know, it
Very
was
demure.
very interesting. Sam, I know you're judging. I see you. I see you, Sam.
But the daytime ones now. Because I have a flat out answer for this one.
Which one is your favorite?
Razor's Grip, you know the one where Silas is like, if something happens, like when they have the bet and it's like, oh yeah, I will stop pestering you, and like if I die, I'll stop pestering you as well, so either way you win. And then MC is like, what the fuck? I never agreed to this. You're never allowed to do this again. That was my favorite one.
My favorite one is a very sad one known as Fragmented Dreams. The one with Zane where he's he's working at his job, and unfortunately his patient, which is has the same heart issue as MC, dies, and MC had it to comfort Dr. Zane, and Dr. Zane was having Dawnbreaker like mini nightmares.
Oh shit. That sounds
That
good.
one's very interesting. That one's really good, and that one was really sad. And that fragmented dream makes me think that we will have potentially one day in the future a Dawnbreaker, good actual Dawnbreaker cutscene in the story.
I believe.
Because that fragmented dream says a lot. We technically already have a fragmented dream scene of Raphael becoming Tide God, which is already in the story branch, which I'm pretty sure you guys already know that. However, seeing Dawnbreaker in action and having that double feel, Dr. Zane and Dawnbreaker having that soul core conscious of back to back, that is something that I actually want to see in the story, because we don't get to see that. We only get to see Dr. Zane and NC being stuck in Dr. Zane's Dawnbreaker dream, but we never really get to see what Dawnbreaker is really all about.
That's true. That's true.
And technically, from my understanding, isn't Dawnbreaker a psychotic, somewhat detective in his universe? Like, he's like, because MC doesn't exist. He doesn't have a happy
Yeah,
life.
that's really sad for me.
He eats chocolate and drinks freaking energy drinks. Honestly, if you come to think about it, I'm kind of like Dawnbreaker in a way, but I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But he be drinking to survive the energy drinks and consume chocolate in a way to move forward.
Yeah.
And
I don't know.
his life is not as successful as he is as his doctor self. So because like in Fragmented Dreams, something that was like kind of like hinted is that both of them were conscious of each other. Dr. Zane knows that Dawnbreaker exists. Dawnbreaker
No,
knows
Zane
that
exists.
Dr. Zane exists. Yeah.
Like we've seen it a few times where it's like, you're not Dr. Zane.
You're
it's
not
like Dr. Zane.
And he's like, who the hell? I'm a doctor?
Yeah, like we literally saw it for his birthday, and I'm not gonna lie, I had fucking chills, and it's like, you're not Dr. Zane, and I'm like, who the fuck are you then? This was like before I found out about Dawnbreaker and shit like that, because like, I don't know, when I play the game, I prioritize all the Silas shit. Shock horror, I know.
When I play the game, I like the lore, so I don't mind talking.
I like the lore as well, but like sometimes I'm just like, I really don't have the time of day at the minute. You know what I mean?
Infold, hire us.
Mood though. Anyway, I think with that, we're gonna be finishing up though for when we get towards the next episode, because it is also like nearly midnight here for me, so. And I slept for 3 hours and I had to drive.
No.
It was great.
I mean, at least you get to sleep in, and then once you wake up, time to grind the silence card.
Darn, I'm gonna... It's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot.
Merry Jolly Christmas. You know what time it is tomorrow, y'all.
Yeah, good luck to anyone wishing on the Silas myth.
Good luck. I'm manifesting all the good luck to
I'm about to break my bank.
Watching. If you don't know what Love and D-Space is, download it today and start playing and start grinding that game today. You won't
Not
regret
sponsored.
It.
Unfortunately.
Not sponsored, but if you're watching this info, really do hit me up, because I'm trying to...
Yo, me too. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning into the first episode. I hope you enjoyed our little rambles. Little shambles.
Our first episode of the Crow and Snowy Fox podcast.
Yeah!
Anyway.
Hang on, I actually have a thing for this.
Oh.
Hang on, I have the perfect soundboard for this.
Yeah!
Yeah. See you guys later. Bye!
See you, everyone. Bye!